farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Aislinn,
And my name is Cody.
and we are here to talk about cottagecore games.
Oh, woo. Ow,
Woo!
ow, ow.
We got some extra in there.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing the wolf one. The
Ooh.
wolfish. Ow, ow, ow. I
All I
don't
can
know
offer
why.
is just the woo. I can give a little meow.
Oh, Well, you're the coo, aren't you?
That's true. I am the coo.
The
I'm in cat. My brain is only cats with these two kittens.
two kittens.
The
Have you
two
talked about
kitties.
them?
I did talk about
Okay,
them.
good.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, at the time when I last recorded with Kevin in
Mm-hmm.
for Wanderstop, it was pre kittens. We were in the
Mm-hmm.
process of like getting them,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have them. So if y'all hear any craziness in the background, that's them having the zoomies because they're 5 months old and don't know how to relax sometimes.
Big same.
But today we are talking about Bugaboo Pocket.
Oh, woo.
Yay! It is not to go into it too much, but it is essentially like a bug collecting, carrying type of game.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Tamagotchi,
Mm-hmm.
but bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't go too much into it, but that's the general gist of it. But otherwise, what have you been up to?
I am still doing a PhD, and
You're so close.
I'm so close. I did get the approval from my committee that I should be good to defend in the fall as long as I continue to follow my
Yes.
timeline.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so close to being a doctor. So
Oh my
weird.
God. You're already a doctor in my heart, honestly. The amount of time and effort and energy and everything you put in, you're already there. It's just you just need the technicalities of
The like paper that says that I am.
exactly.
Yeah, basically. So I'm doing a lot of specimens, but which is really fun. It's basically like just pouring out vials of dead bugs. We call it
Oh,
bug soup. So pouring out bug soup, and then going through and identifying it. And I found something super rare the other day, and I
ooh.
lost my mind. So there's this entire order of insects called strepsipterans that are known as the twisted wing parasites, and they're super uncommonly collected. Because the female just like embeds herself into whatever her host is. It's usually like a wasp, like so into the wasp's like abdomen. She
Oh.
just lives there always.
Oh.
And then the male comes and finds her in the on the back of the wasp and then like mates with her while she's in the wasp. And then she has babies. And it's just so the female never has wings, but the males have wings and they have like, I believe, really short flight periods. And I caught three males. And
Oh.
so, like, just in the middle of my bug soup, I was just like, holy crap, it's a strepsipteran. And then I was like, oh my God, there's more. So it was really cool because like one of the points of my study is to see if there's one of the three traps that I'm testing, if one is better than the other.
Yeah.
And these are only caught in that one type of trap. So
Oh,
that's like,
so you're making progress.
yeah. So it's like, okay, well, look at this cool thing that was never ever caught in the other traps, but has been caught in this new trap thing. So
Cool.
that was cool. But other than that, I'm still playing Fortnite with my roommate. Just like something we like play a game or two at a time to just like chill. And then I started playing Breath of the Wild. I have never finished it. And I barely got into the game, to be honest, like the last times that I've played it.
Hmm.
So I'm playing it now and I'm playing it kind of with Jeff, because he lives with me now. And so
Wow.
like I play it while we're both in the same room. He's usually playing like Factorio or something.
Hmm.
But we like watch it and play it together. So it's nice. And hopefully having like a second person who's interested in the story will like help me to actually finish it this time.
I think I have that same exact relationship with Breath of the Wild. Like I started it, and to be fair, I don't have it anymore because it
Hmm.
was part of, I think I feel like I've told the story like a bunch of times, so you may or may not have heard it. The
Hmm.
listeners probably haven't heard it, but long story short, my Switch got stolen years ago, along with a bunch of games, Breath of the Wild
Mm,
being one of them.
mm,
So I currently don't own it anymore. The
yeah.
idea of buying it, I'm just like, do I really need to? Because I never really got into it in the first place for some reason.
Yeah.
But like I am interested in it. The like oh as a whole entire overview, I just never fully got into it. But I think maybe if Chris and I like sat down on the couch and tried to like play it together,
Yeah.
that might encourage me more.
That's what I'm doing with Jeff is kind of just like dedicating that time to just sitting down and playing it together. It's really
Hmm.
nice. And so doing that. And then the last thing that I'll mention is that Oblivion Remastered came out, and I am a huge Elder Scrolls fan, but I resisted the temptation because I need to finish Zelda first. I think I need to just like stick with one thing.
Hmm.
So I looked at Oblivion and I was like, "Ah, you'll be here. Wait for me. Wait for me."
I can't believe the way they dropped it. It was just like a shadow drop,
It
right?
was, yeah. Like I remember like Jeff was like, "Oh, babe, they just announced this thing." And then like 2 days later, one of my best friends who I actually played the original Oblivion with, back in when we were in high school, or middle school maybe even, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing this and oh, it's bringing up so many memories." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah, it was like just a straight up shadow drop. And it's fun to see all the memes people are saying. So but I
Yeah,
am going to wait. I've played it before. It can wait for me.
that's a fair point. Breath of the Wild is a new game, new
Yeah.
experience, but it's like, I don't know. Watching the trailer for Oblivion, I've never played anything
Ooh.
in that world, but like looking at the trailer and seeing how excited Chris was, because Chris is
Yeah.
also a huge Elder Scrolls fan. Um, he so badly wanted to just drop everything to play it, but he's like, we have things we have to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it looks amazing. So like
Yeah.
I don't know how you resist the temptation because I would be tempted to play something that I know I'm going to really, really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is that like it's on Game Pass. So
Mhm.
if they don't know, it's on Game Pass. And so that was like the biggest temptation is my friend told me that it was out and I was like, yeah, but I can't afford that. I can't even afford a $20 game, let alone a $60 game.
Mhm.
And then I got on my Xbox and I saw that it was on Game Pass and I was like, oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no, no.
I think when I was streaming earlier this week, he's like, "Sorry, I ended up starting to download it while you just started streaming." He's like, "Did you notice any drops?" I was like, "Oh, no." But okay.
Yeah.
So
I
he's like all
did.
set up, ready to go.
I can't remember if I downloaded or not. I downloaded Ori and the Blind Forest because I was about to start playing that too. But again, like I was playing that on my Switch, and then we switched to Jeff's Switch and Jeff's Xbox. Or I was playing it on my Xbox, and now we're on Jeff's Xbox. And so
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I need to download that again. But then I was like, but I need to focus. And if I'm gonna focus on a game right now, I want it to be Zelda. So all of this to say, mostly Zelda. What about you? What have you been up to? What have you been playing?
I will admit that I have been so I think I already said this on the Wander Stop episode. Actually no, I was in a different I was less busy there's like pre and post Wander Stop is like a milestone in in my life at the moment for some reason.
Okay.
Like pre Wander Stop I was busy, but once I finished Wander Stop, actually, you know what happened was the cats. The cats
Oh,
came into the picture, and in addition to working, taking care of what feels like five toddlers simultaneously, even though it's just two kittens,
yeah.
and actively wedding planning.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like very, very busy. But with that said, with the time that I do have, I've been trying to play as much Bugaboo Pocket as possible.
Sweet.
which I've unlocked 4 bugs at this point out of the
Okay.
7, so we're getting there.
Okay.
And I've made good progress in the story, I think. But I've also been playing whenever I can Persona 3 Reload still.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more than halfway through the game. And I finally picked up Fields of Mystria,
Mm.
and I want to dedicate my entire life to that game. But I am like, I have to resist. I
Yeah.
have to resist because I'm like, you're like, same with like Oblivion Remastered just coming out.
Hmm.
I'm like, I want to finish Persona first,
Yep.
but I'm already really enjoying Fields of Mystria, which is like it's been good. Everyone has been saying it's good, and like, yeah, no, it's good. So,
Mm.
that's primarily what I've been doing.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk more about Bugaboo Pocket, but first, there's news.
Yeah, so I actually kind of want to talk a little bit about this first one.
Hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Doloktown?
That's
Doloktown?
that. I thought Dolok. I think that's right.
Either way, in my quest for finding something to give me more energy today, because today I've just been very low energy for some reason. I think because it's like my first proper day off and I just don't know how to function
Yeah.
and not be like, I don't know how to not be busy right now. So I'm just like a blob. But in my quest to try and like give myself some energy, I actually downloaded the demo because
Okay.
looking at it for this podcast already caught my interest very quickly.
Hmm.
And it's really cool so far. But early access is coming soon. There's
Hmm.
just a demo. So if you didn't know, there is a demo. And the demo, I didn't play much of the demo, but the demo already is like pretty cool.
Hmm.
But it is a farming sim in a way, but it's a side scroller, which
Hmm.
feels very different from what I'm used to, at least, as someone that is very selective about farming games.
Hmm.
And there's crafting, there's cooking, fishing, um, farming, of course.
Hmm.
And it looked like there was also like some actual like platforming that is happening in some capacity. So it really caught my interest. Um, I don't know if you know much about the game as well.
I I just looked at the what was on there. So the quote that they had for the early access is immerse yourself in a rich farming experience with harvesting, building, crafting, cooking, fishing, and more. Brave extreme weather and make it yours. No idea what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Explore the vast wasteland and uncover the secrets beneath. Discover the charm of Dolok Town and the story of its people. A customizable drone companion designed to safeguard you in the wilderness. I'm assuming that means that there is one. Um, and I mean, it looked cool. It also like the art that's not the 2D like pixel art
Mhm.
was kind of like anime-esque art.
Yeah, I think that's why I am definitely partial towards anime-esque. When you're actually in the game, it's less, more so. It's
Yeah.
definitely more leaning on the pixel
Hmm.
aesthetic, but like the art for the game, yeah, has that anime aesthetic. But it's nice. Like I could definitely see where they're trying to go with it charm-wise for the game.
Hmm.
And like right off the gate, there's already some very interesting dialogue just in the demo alone.
Mm,
Um, so
that's
it
good.
seems like, or it says also, over the past few months, the team has been working hard to refine the game and get it ready for its initial release. And we're
Hmm.
thrilled to see that it's only 2 weeks away.
Woo! So
So,
yeah, that's the big news is that the early access is coming on May 8th.
yay! And also, just because I thought this was really cool, if you join the Discord,
Hmm.
you get the OST on launch,
Ooh,
which normally you have to pay for that on Steam.
like a
So
downloadable
I
version?
I don't know exactly because they don't talk about how exactly what that process is, but
Hmm.
yeah, you can get the OST for free, it seems like, if you just join the Discord.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
How's the music?
So far, I already really like it.
Okay.
It fits the aesthetic of the game really well.
Nice. Yeah, cool. And that early access is gonna have 20 hours of gameplay, which is nuts for an early access.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that's only like part of the story.
Hmm.
Crazy. So cool. Well, we will continue to check in with you about Don't Lock Down since you've downloaded the demo. Um, I am the Disney Dreamlight Valley correspondent, and here
Yes.
that is the next. Sorry, I just was getting a phone call and it cut off my recording. So, Al, I'm sorry, there's two recordings. Disney Dreamlight Valley has a new update. So they have the Wonderland Whimsy update, which adds an Alice in Wonderland realm. And it adds Alice and the Cheshire Cat as characters.
For
So,
some reason I thought they were already characters, but I still have yet to play this game. I think like you
hmm
told me like when we first recorded way back when to play Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I still have
hmm
not because of
Yeah,
because of
it's a lot.
backlogs.
It's a lot. And there is a pull. Like I feel the pull to it since again, switched to Jeff's Xbox. He has a Xbox Series S, so it's like a really better one. And it does not, when I played it, Disney Dreamlight Valley does not have lag on his the way that it did on my Xbox One.
Hmm.
So I feel the pull for sure. I don't know. I'll have to look at because usually with these patches, they also have like a small, gosh, what are they called? I'm trying to, oh my gosh. Sorry, I was just started looking at this. Does not include seasonal star path. Oh, that's something else. I'm wondering if they have a star path. Oh, yeah, there we go. Garden of Whimsy star path. So the star paths are like usually those are time limited, and you can get some really neat items. So maybe I'll jump on this game here, like to later today, and see if there's any good items for the star path,
Hmm.
and see if I'm really like tempted to get anything. The Cheshire Cat is like I don't know. Did you ever see like the old Alice game that was like super creepy?
I have like the vague, for whatever reason, the way that you phrased it just gave me like the vaguest recollection of it.
hmm
Let me see if I look at, oh, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So whenever I think of Alice in Wonderland, the Cheshire Cat, I think of that one because the round little cuddly Cheshire Cat that's in, or I think of the one in the Johnny Depp films because when I think of like when I see this Cheshire Cat, like the original Alice in Wonderland Cheshire Cat, I'm
Hmm.
like, this looks goofy versus like the original horror Alice games,
Hmm.
and kind of also the one in the live action is like creepy. And I prefer the Cheshire Cat being creepy. So, yeah. So I will look at it and see if there's anything cool in the Star Path later today. The thing I was laughing about is uncrafting. So there's now an
Uncrafting.
there's now an uncrafting station which I love it. So you can uncraft non-quest crafted items and recycle the materials.
Oh, that's
So
so good.
yeah, there are times like when the characters like at the end of the quest. So I'm hoping it means like if they are no longer needed in the quest, because they'll be like, "Oh, build me this beautiful gondola, like." Thing that I can then we can get married under or something. And then you build
Yeah.
this huge thing and then after the action of it, they're like, "Okay, here have this." And I'm like, "I don't want this." Like I don't actually want
Give me
this.
my materials back.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you can now do that, which is hilarious. They also have upgradable chests, which is amazing. So instead of having, if you have a small chest and then you want to get a large chest, usually you have to like build the large chest and then set it next to the small chest and then like scooch everything over and it's just pain in the butt. Now you can just like upgrade the smaller chests instead, which is awesome.
Okay.
There's more alignment in the subgrid. You can make your house bigger, just like some basic things, and then
Mhm.
other changes and bug fixes. So I'm excited. Looks cool.
I just the idea, I don't know why the idea of like being able to uncraft something has like never crossed my mind, but now that that
Hmm.
idea has been implanted into my game, I into my brain, now I'm like, why do more games not have this? Because this is really cool and I really like that, and that would be very nice.
Yeah. To be able to like, I mean, there are some games that can do that. I know that I want to say Minecraft has one where like a table that you can go take your stuff to and then it'll like give you the components or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's not super common. So cool.
Very
Um,
cool indeed.
yeah.
And I
Uh,
guess with that said, do you have
mhm.
anything else that you want to touch on with Disney Dreamlight Valley?
Nope, I was gonna move on. Let's move
Okay.
on.
I guess do you know anything about the roots of Pacha?
I played Roots of Pacha.
Okay.
Or Pacha. I think I say Pacha.
Pacha?
Um, it is a super cool, like it's basically caveman Stardew or prehistoric Stardew, I think is what we used to say.
Hmm.
So they have a 1.3 update that is out now, and it adds two new regions. So those regions are the Mograni Mountains and the scroll Yakuan Islands. So I think it just like adds on to what is already in the game, like different areas that you can just now go to that you previously couldn't go to. Each area has a decent amount of new characters, but overall, there's 21 new characters, and two of them are romanceable. And I just always want to shout out that one of the characters who's romanceable, the mountain guy, is older, so he's got
Hmm.
like white hair, like gray hair. And I am just, as I get into my elder years, I am just always so happy to see that they're letting us old people old people need love too.
No, I agree. I do. I saw that note and I was like, that's really, really awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool. There's also new animals. They've got like a prehistoric giraffe thing. They've got a something that was a precursor to the modern sheep. They got a dodo bird because of course, like why wasn't that in the game already?
Hmm.
Um, And then they also added modern animals. So I can't remember if it's like something that you can, like one of the ideas that you can add on, that someone like thinks of like modernizing the animals or whatever, but
Yeah.
you end up like with what you would think are the modern animals, from it, which is
Oh,
really
so they're
cool.
not like actually modern animals. They're just what could be modern animals,
So
like
it's I
reimagined.
think you basically like take the animal from before or the animal that's in the game already, and I think you just like do some weird genetic stuff with it or something like that, and then
Oh, okay.
it's suddenly the modern version. Um, so yeah, that is cool. There's new clothing, decorations, seeds. They also added modern seeds. So I think similarly, you can update the ones that you have to be like the legit modern seeds instead of working with like prehistoric versions. One of the mini games is a music game. So for people like Al, who I know likes those like rhythm games, there's one of
Hmm.
those where you use the up and down arrows, kind of like, I mean, it looks like basically Guitar Hero,
Yeah.
but
I was looking
using,
at that too. It's cool. I
yeah,
like that.
I was a little, I was interested.
I also like a good rhythm game or music game. So like
Mhm.
I will revisit on a regular basis Project Diva, which is the Vocaloid
Yeah.
music game. So
Hmm.
like I'm all over rhythm games. So any inclusion of that, I am so on it.
Hmm. And then the final thing was that there is now bug catching
Woo!
with an asterisk. So it's not
Oh.
it's not like what you'd think. It's that there's like a couple new places that you can go to and then you basically like play an instrument and it like calls the bugs to you and then you can catch them from there. It's not what you'd expect. Which I like that they're doing new things. They had a new way to like tame animals and a new way to fish and all of that. Super love the way that they've been doing, innovating in that
Mhm.
regard. But I want to be able to just go catch bugs the way that I the way that I
Yeah.
do. Um, on my hike today, there were a couple people that came up because I was like flipping logs and they were like, "What are you doing? What you looking for?" And I was
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, anything. Like, I just want to see
Just anything.
cool bugs or salamanders or something.
Hmm.
It's a little early for that. But yeah, that's basically I just want to be able to like find cool bugs.
Hmm.
So, and
Well,
that's that update. So that update is out now. If you already own the game, then you just get it. And if you do not own the game, maybe having a little bit more story and bug catching and the rhythm game pushed you to do it. Maybe that's something that's of interest.
yeah, all sounds good to me. Will I play it? I don't know. Again, so only so many farming games I can do.
Yeah.
But I
I
like the romanceable older person.
mhm.
That is like one thing that's like a game changer for me. I do like that a lot.
Yeah. I have it on Windows, so if we end up moving my desktop up to my office, which is like a blessing and a curse because I want
Hmm.
this to remain my work office,
Yeah.
but also like I am not playing my desktop downstairs right
Yeah.
now. So it's uh, but yeah, I might bring that up and load this game back up and see how that older guy is.
Yeah.
If I like his personality or not.
Hopefully he's got good personality.
Fingers crossed.
I guess with that, well, not really with that said, it's not really very good transition, but another game that
Mhm.
I unfortunately don't know much about,
Okay.
Ova Magica. Are you familiar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, perfect, wonderful.
Ova Magica is the like farming adventure, whatever creature collector game where all of the
Hmm.
creatures are like these little round boys.
Yeah.
And so there's like, and they just kind of like blob around behind you, just super cute. So they have released the zero point 0.9 update that adds some new areas, new friendship events with the characters. And there's also a new thing, I can't remember what it's called, like Ovotron or something, but it's something that allows you to X-ray into a egg before it hatches to be able to see what
Hmm.
is in the egg, which is super nice. Like say that you're trying to breed for something,
Yeah.
you'd be able to see kind of like expect what is in that egg, um, which is cool. And so that zero point 0.9 update is out now. Um, and they also said in this that the 1.0 is coming this year.
Hmm.
I cannot remember how many years that has been a promise.
Oh, no.
But I feel like it's been it could have just been one, they could have just been yet last year. I don't know. But I feel
Yeah.
like this is a game we've been talking about for a hot minute.
Hmm.
So,
I feel like I've been seeing it, like, even though I don't know much about it, I feel like I've somehow been like stumbling across it like pretty
mhm.
regularly. Um, so
No,
hopefully,
Miss Chloe. Yeah.
hopefully it's coming 1.0 this
Yeah.
year. I mean, there's a lot of this year left, so fingers crossed. And it looks like it's like mostly, if not already, like just about fully fleshed out game-wise. So,
Yeah, they don't have too much to add to it, so we'll see where it goes.
mhm. Can I just say I love the cow blob
Yeah,
in like the
they're
main photo?
they're all cute. I love the cow blob, I love the fox blob, the bee blob is cute. Like
Oh,
they I have not seen a blob I didn't love.
I
So,
like the turtle one too.
yeah,
They're all
they're
so cute.
they're all very cute.
And shout out to motion sickness settings because that's a big one for me for a lot of games. So
Hmm.
anything with that, that's nice.
Hmm. Well, are we 3 for 3? Have you heard of a game called Go-Go Town?
I know of literally I only know of Go-Go Town because of this podcast.
Okay, cool. We'll take it
A,
away.
a lot of my new game knowledge comes from this podcast, I will not lie.
Yeah, same.
But it looks like that online co-op is coming soon for
Hmm.
Go-Go Town, and looking at the video earlier that they took of the co-op back and forth, it looks pretty good. It says that they still have some bugs, but they are working on it and it's coming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also they do make a note that there will be no split screen co for online co-op,
Mm-hmm.
just as a general note. There isn't much more of an update with that, but they did give a sneak peek. It looks cool.
Hmm. I don't know if we'd seen a video of it before, so that was nice to see.
Yeah.
And I know people are always interested in like whether or not the co-op is split screen.
Hmm.
So, though I feel like this split screen is so 2000s. So I feel like it's just not like Jeff and I were talking about possibly playing Halo and I was like, ugh, we'd have to split screen.
Yeah, it is so old. Now that you like just reminding me of the Halo, I'm just like, oh yeah, that is like an old
Yeah,
thing.
like I don't want to do that. Ugh, gross. So, yeah, they're not gonna have that, which is a good thing, but also if you only have one copy of the game, that kind of sucks, I guess. But
Yeah. But I guess like generally speaking, most people have their own version of the game in some capacity, so it's nice
hmm
that you don't have to worry about split screen and everyone has their own screen and you
hmm
can still do co-op.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I think that's not really all we got on Go-Go Town. That blurb from Steam doesn't have too much beyond that.
correct.
So I guess with that said, we move into Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
Hmm.
And Cody and I, before we even started recording, we're both just like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I'm like, "No. Do you know what's going on?" We're both just like, "Not really." So I will read whatever I can, and
Uh-huh.
then take that as you will.
Yeah,
But it looks like 100 crops. So if you really want to be farming, oh boy, you have a lot of options.
yeah. So this next bit, like Al wrote it out and I think I read this like 10 times and there's something about these words that I just like my brain just they just bounce off my brain. I have smooth brain when it comes to these words. I don't understand why. And they're not even hard words. So it just says this is from Al. It has some stamina system that works differently than normal, but was in the original game. You can do more if you jump when doing an action, which is weird, but it costs more stamina, one per usage, six per jump usage, but you'll get three actions. So you're using up more stamina to save time, but you can still upgrade the tools as well.
See, like, I'm picking up what he's putting down, Al,
Yeah, Chloe.
but to be fair, I've never played Story of Seasons before, so that is probably a big limiting factor for me.
Hmm.
Um, but if you've played Story of Seasons before, this might be appealing to you. And from my knowledge about farming games in
Hmm.
general, being able to use, even if it sacrifices more stamina to save time, does sound nice.
Okay, but like the logic of it, like,
The jumping doing, am I gonna be jumping like and farming? Like, what am I doing? Am I like planting and jumping? Like, what I don't, am I jumping across my farm to water all of my 100 crops that I have?
well, and like if you, so you jump and it's more stamina because you're jumping, and that's very intensive, right?
Yes,
but when you jump, you're just able to be more efficient.
I guess. I mean, that's what it looks like too in the screenshot that I'm looking at on the website.
Yeah.
There's just a character that's like doing like a skip type of jump type of mo so are you like I think guess you're skipping as you're farming and you're getting more done, but you're wearing yourself out because you're skipping. I mean, skipping is more work, like more body intensive than walking.
Yeah,
So, it
you're right. You're right.
logically makes sense.
I don't know.
This is such a
I
silly conversation.
That's how I felt when I read it. I was like, and then this website is like fogu.com and this website, I was confused. It is not Al. It is not the web. It is
No,
probably just
yeah.
me.
Well, me too, because I'm also
I don't know if like my ADHD or whatever was just like, nope. But it was wild. So that's that. I'm sure Story of Seasons people are probably like, oh, sick. Like, that's gonna be so awesome. I'm like, I'm happy for you guys.
Like I had
100
no
crops. I
idea.
understand that. He
Yes.
also wrote more than any other Story of Season game. So more
Options.
crop number go burr.
And it looks like it comes out in, this is probably almost definitely announced at some point, but looking at the website, it's coming out August 27th in the States, in North
Wow.
America.
I think it's already out in Japan, yeah.
It is, no, it's already, it's there, it's all coming out at the same time. So
Oh.
August 27th slash August 28th in Japan because of, time zone things and whatnot.
Hmm. Okay, cool.
But yeah, we tried our best. So
Sorry,
I
Al.
apologize to all the Story of Season fans. It's the best you're gonna get. But I can talk about Stardew Valley
Heck yeah, we can.
or the concert specifically because I was trying to go to one of them.
Oh, okay.
I tried to get tickets for the Toronto one, and
Hmm.
it was just a miserable failure. So I'm happy that they added more dates. We have not
Yay.
followed up on if we can get um tickets for any of the other Toronto ones, or even just
Hmm.
somewhere else in Canada, I guess, need be, or in the States or something. But
Hmm.
I am happy that they added more dates because trying to get tickets for those has been a wreck.
Yeah. And they added a bunch of dates. So like when I looked at the dates, like the tour dates just in general,
Yeah,
there are many. Um, and then all the green ones on the poster are like the new ones.
yeah.
But there's just they better like playing that music because my goodness,
It's a lot. I
they are
imagine,
gonna be playing it.
all one? Is it all one? What's the orchestra? I was
Orchestra.
like, what's the word?
I'm assuming like I don't think that I wouldn't think that there'd be like an orchestra at each location that's like I would think that it's like the one orchestra that's just kind of like moving around,
Right.
which
I'm
is
just like, this
probably
is,
super cool for people to travel, like
yeah.
be able to go places, but also this is a lot.
It is a lot. Like just looking at the dates in general, it's like a lot of these dates are like back to back
Hmm.
or like same day
But then
because of matinee.
they'll be followed by uh like a week off or something. So
Yeah.
it's cool, but
It's not
lots.
like they're being overworked to an extent, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So if you have been wanting tickets and it has been sold out in your area, definitely look. There are new dates in US, Canada, and Asia.
Yeah.
So new dates, new shows that were already in some areas,
Mhm.
whole new areas too.
Yeah.
So yeah, take a look.
Very, very cool. It's awesome that they were able to pull this off.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess that is all the news that we have, right? Yeah.
A woo.
Woohoo. So I guess with that said, we can move into Bugaboo Pockets, which I am
Yay.
so excited to talk about.
Yeah. So let's first talk about how we played it and how far we are.
Hmm.
So I played it on Mac and I was only able to get the demo. And so I played what's on the demo, which is not a lot. I'll get into that later. So I don't have a ton. I have like literally like a half an hour. Um, but when payday hits, I might be pulling the trigger for this one for sure.
Well, I guess we can get your take after you hear my takes,
So what have
since
you played?
I did buy the game.
Woo.
I have played it on PC primarily, um, which is why I've kind of barely played it because I haven't really been home too much because of work.
Hmm.
But I did try to play it on my Steam Deck, and it's technically Steam Deck compatible, but I don't think I don't like it on the Steam Deck
Got it.
because it's you could tell it's a game that's made for like a mouse.
Yeah.
So like I'm just running my finger along the Steam Deck screen pretty much, or like along the trackpad, and I didn't if I hooked up a mouse, then it'd probably be better.
Yeah.
But like if you're playing it just Steam Deck only, nothing else connected to it or anything, I didn't like it
Hmm.
personally, but on PC it's great. Um, and I have so there are 7 bugs total that you can unlock, and I have unlocked 4.
Hmm.
Let me
Nice.
double check. Let me go back. I have the game open in front of me just because of this reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have the full thing.
The full
So I have
game. Yeah.
one, two, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have four out of the 7 bugs.
Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, it's basically like to me, it feels like Bug Tamagotchi.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
Um,
agree. Even the
but
UI.
yeah, but with like a plus, like there's some extra.
Mm-hmm.
So what they say on Switch is, quote, a relaxing semi-idle pet game starring bugs from land, air, and sea. Play as a research scientist living in a cabin with just your bugs and a pen pal for company. Spoil them with pets, mini games, food, and furniture. Raise and release bugs to help Beetleback Ridge recover from a devastating fire. So it is 20 bucks on Steam. Um, but it is also coming out on Switch this year. It has not been released yet, I don't think, based on the website, but it
I
is in the cards.
I don't know. I really hope that they like make this more, controller friendly.
Yeah. Well, maybe when they make it controller friendly for that, they'll have some like ideas of how to make it more controller friendly for the Steam
Yeah.
Deck too.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
So it's just $20 for the base game,
Mhm.
or there is a bundle on Steam right now called the Celebrate Bugs bundle, and that bundle has Webbed, which we have not talked about, but it seems like it's a platformer and you're a jumping spider, which is super cute. So there's that. There's Apico. Oh my gosh, sorry. There's Bug and Seek and this game, Bugaboo Pocket, and they're all for 38.22, which is a steal given the fact that I think this game and Apico are $40 on their own.
Mhm.
So it is like a really good price.
Yeah. And I think Webbed has been I realize Webbed has been on my wish list for a hot minute because it looks
Hmm.
so incredibly adorable. And then I've played Apico. Is that how
Hmm.
it's actually pronounced? Because I've been saying Apico and I'm like, I never thought that was right.
Yeah, so it's Apico. Yeah.
But I've played Apico and there's so much to do in that game.
Mhm.
And the price of Bugaboo Pocket, yeah, for that bundle is really good.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I also really just want to shout out that their developer and publisher, it's the same group, are called Elytra Games. Love it. 10 out of 10. Elytra, for people who don't know,
I was gonna be
are
like me, I don't get it.
so elytra are on beetles. Instead of having four wings, the front pair of wings are like kind of replaced by this modified hardened shell thing. So like if you imagine a ladybug and it has like those two pieces of like shell and then those kind of move to the side and then there's wings underneath of it. Those things are called elytra.
Oh, that's so cool
Yeah,
to
so
know the name of
it's a
that. Oh,
bug
that's
thing.
sick.
And
Oh my God. Okay.
there's also elytra in Minecraft. There are basically just it's like
Ah.
a thing on your back that you wear that gives you the ability to like not do powered flight, but you can like fall more gracefully. Like you basically can glide.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
really
that's
love
so
that.
cool. So more bug games moving forward from Elytra,
I would hope
hopefully.
so. Yeah. Give me a call if you guys want some free. But it seems like they already know what they're talking about, so they probably don't need consultant or whatever, but
But hey, if they do,
if they do hit me up,
you know who to call.
I will I will do it for free.
You got a doctor on deck.
So they say that it's great for people who don't love bugs yet or for validating people who already do. What category were you in, Ace?
I love bugs,
Okay,
so
cool,
I'm
yeah.
having a great time with this game. I don't know if I can agree with the great for people who don't love bugs. I know there are
Okay.
some options within the game to so you can at least reveal the species before it hatches or anything, so you know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really cute. But I don't know for certain if you don't
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, worms.
Mm.
I don't know.
I mean, I thought so they're the species that you first start out with, or at least in the demo, was the rubber ducky ice pod, and I think that that's great. Like, it's super cute, and they look like rubber duckies when they're adults, and it's just so cute. So I thought that that might be something that would be good for people who might not super be into bugs.
I think
Um,
just because one of the species does start off basically looking like kind of like a waxworm, and I know for some people that freaks them out, so I don't
yeah,
know
that's fair.
how people feel about that. So take that as you will, but if you are okay with at least looking at bugs, I think this game is still cute. Like they do a
Hmm.
really good job of making the bugs extra cute.
Okay,
So if
cool.
you are okay with bugs and you like bugs, great game. If you hate bugs, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hard to say. But I do agree with you with the isopods.
Hmm. And then I just love the story. So they say play as a research scientist helping a forest recover after a devastating fire. Discover her story through cutscenes, diagram entries, and items. Complete your bug compendium to unlock secrets and prizes. So I screamed when I started playing, and it's basically like in the perspective of this research entomologist. I think her name is Sylvia.
Yes.
Because she says like when I was hired as an entomologist by the Forestry Solution, which is like a company, the Forestry Solution, I was just like, this is my dream job. Like
Oh.
I literally want to be a forest entomologist working on conservation and habitat restoration. So this is like oh my gosh. And then some other things that just popped out right away. Basically, you're breeding the insects to repopulate the area that was ruined by the fire. Um, and your friend is like dropping you off at this like remote cabin, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to stay here out here all alone?" And she's like, "Yeah. Also, there's no rent." And I was like, "Girl."
Yeah, you know what? I got to stay out here all alone, all alone with my bugs and no rent.
With no rent excuse. This is not
Yeah.
even a question, my God. And then the final thing was he's like trying to talk to her, and then it just says Sylvia was too awkward to say anything. And I was like, did they just make me like are they following me? Are they? So yeah, that was just like my from the demo. I was really enjoying it.
Hmm.
So that's my stuff.
Okay. So I will say, um, obviously the journey of living out on your own and
Hmm.
everything from the perspective of Sylvia is developed as you continue to unlock things in the game. And the relationship with you and the person that dropped you off and everything,
Hmm. Their name
they
is Easy.
yeah, their name is Easy, and that is indeed further developed too
Hmm.
because you get letters from Easy.
Hmm.
Or actually, so you get letters back and forth. So you see the letters in the communication between your character Sylvia and Easy, and their relationship is continuing to develop, and there is some emotion behind some of that.
Hmm.
And it's honestly it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's very simple, but it's simply good. I
Hmm.
think that might be, if not, no, that is one of my. I was like, I can't say that's my favorite part of the game. It's literally a bug game. I'm not gonna. My favorite part of the game is not going to be the people, but in a way, it is the character development and the interactions with the other person or a friend easy in the game as you continue to do like your own research here and rather recovery and
Hmm.
everything of Beetleback Ridge continues. I do like that human interaction aspect continuing to develop.
Hmm.
So I think that's really cool. As for, I'm trying to think like where I want to go with this. I mean, that's pretty much it with that without giving any
The story, yeah.
spoilers per se, because I obviously don't want to spoil anything, especially because you're most likely going to get this game at some
Yeah.
points. So I'm like, I want you and of course the listeners as well to be able to experience that. So know that the story hits in ways that I was not
Mm.
expecting. Um, I will say this, and this I will say one line that I just read recently in the game,
Hmm.
that was really good was, and it's not a spoiler because it's not going to make any sense,
Hmm.
but one line that I think you will really resonate with as well is, even if they stop me, they can't stop my new friends. And
Aw.
I'm like, in friends in regards to the bugs. So I'm
Hmm.
like, oh.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying that aspect.
That's awesome.
But I guess so far, like because I see you have in the notes and everything, you have it like broken down in different sections.
Yeah, so I kind of was just thinking of like the mechanics of the game and like what you do in the game after we talk about the music or the graphics, which the graphics are pretty simple. It's a Tamagotchi-esque like
Hmm.
game.
Yeah.
I didn't have my music on, so I can't really speak to that.
I will just jump in really quickly because it's very
Hmm.
quick. The soundtrack of the game is very minimal. I
Hmm.
think I played it with the soundtrack for like a day or like
Hmm.
one or two game sessions, and then I've just had my own music on since then, and just the game sound effects because it's very repetitive. It's very limited from
Hmm.
what I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, and then other than that, I just put these out. I put some notes, but we don't have to go in any particular order. And I figure, since you've played more, I will let you take the lead.
Sure. So I guess with that said, I can talk about in regards to the full game,
Hmm.
the place that you kind of start at, if I remember correctly, which you can also speak on as well with the demos. You kind of
Hmm.
start with Beetleback Ridge
Hmm.
because that is the place where you basically get like your quests,
Hmm.
and the quests are cute. They all have like different tasks, and the mechanics of the game as you continue throughout the game do kind of build on top of each other
Hmm.
and do require you to interact with multiple different aspects of the game, which I think is nice, but it doesn't like, well, actually currently I'm stuck on this one thing that I think is going to be more involved than I would personally like it to be, but
Hmm.
for the most part the game doesn't like force you to do anything any specific way beyond just the quests.
Hmm.
So there is like nice flexibility with that for both the isopods, which you start out with
Hmm.
in the demo, but also with all the other bugs.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel about because then you transition over into the terrarium section of the game, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly. How
Yeah.
do you feel about the terrarium?
I mean, I thought they were really cute. And so you can have, is this true of the full game too, that you can have three going at a time?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, the demo only lets you have the one, makes total sense. And they just kind of already put a ice pod in it. They put a rubber ducky isopod in
Hmm.
there. And if folks don't know, rubber ducky isopods are just a species of isopod, or roly poly, whatever you want to call them, that like the coloration looks like a rubber ducky.
Hmm.
It's so flipping cute. Um, and so it starts with that and it starts out as an egg. The terrarium is pretty basic to start. And then as you play the game, you can get the currency is frass, which is poop.
I mean,
Um,
it's yeah. I'll let you continue.
so So you can get silver or gold frass, and you can use that to buy different things. There's different decorations, different like a bed, something to put on the floor. You can also get hats, and also food. So you can give them just a basic food that's free, but it's not a ton. Or you can give them like bigger pieces of food and they're happy. So whenever you first get your arthropod, because isopods aren't insects, whenever you first get your first arthropod, you it has a personality.
Yes. Hmm.
But it's like malleable based on what you do with it, I think, and
Hmm.
based on its tarot. So you basically like get to re-roll the tarot card. Whenever you get one, you like flip a tarot card over or whatever, and it has some of those traits, I guess.
Yeah, I personally am still trying to understand the tarot card, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so they just have like I started and he had the Fool was his tarot card. My sweet boy. I named him Darnell.
Wow.
Um, so, and then there's like different things you can do with them in the terrarium. So you can look at the log that tells you kind of how they're feeling, if they're hungry, if they're scared. It also has notes. So if you're interacting with them, and they don't like something happens, you can look at the log. So I remember
Hmm.
trying to pet them when they were really young, when he was really young,
Hmm.
and it like had a symbol. And then I went into the log and it was like, Darnell is too wee to touch,
Yeah.
too tiny. Um,
Or it's like you can't pet I
they're,
think for the isopods, it's the back. You can only pet the head.
yeah, they don't want their butt touched.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they just have like their references. And so it'll tell you that in the journal, along with their mood and their tarot. And then the other things are the games.
Hmm.
So the with Darnell, they had three games. One was like basically Plinko. They call it stop, drop, and roll, where like
Hmm.
I don't know if y'all have ever played Plinko or seen Plinko from The Price is Right, where there's just like you put a coin down into something that has a bunch of pegs, and then the pegs like kind of make it go certain ways, and then at the bottom you can get prizes. So you can get like some extra gold frass or something like that to
Hmm.
be able to buy stuff. So there's that game. There's another game called Forest Forager where you drop stones to create a path for them to walk across, and then a rolling game where you try and avoid obstacles. So I was thinking about it. Those games don't really relate to possibly other insects, other arthropods that would be in this game. Are the games different for each species?
So I was actually going to build off of that. Yes, they
Yay.
are. So they are different mini games. I unfortunately don't have anything in my bug bin at the moment, so I can't like go in and see the games again and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But there are mostly different games for every single bug,
Mm-hmm.
except there is just a little bit of overlap for from what I've seen. I'm on my fourth bug and I've seen one game repeat so far,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just slightly different aesthetics for that specific bug. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, there are multiple different mini games that are more or less stressful.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it was so each game has like different levels, and it was
Hmm.
pretty fun. And then like when you get something, it said stuff like Darnell is getting confident because you're winning,
Hmm.
or Darnell knows that you tried.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
was
like, oh my
so cute.
gosh,
It's like you tried your best, and I'm
thank
like, thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
I really
So
did.
that depending on if you're successful or not. And I guess the Plinko game is like luck of the draw. So perhaps
Hmm.
don't do that one if you're trying to make a really confident bug. The other two games of the isopods were more skill based, like trying to get the timing right for
Hmm.
things. So maybe stick with those if you want to have a confident bug.
And there are different, each bug that you get, they have different skills, I guess, that you could say that you have to apply for each game.
Hmm.
There's one game in particular that I cannot remember the name of, but it is associated with the third bug. I'm checking in on the bugs just to be sure.
Hmm.
With the third bug, yeah, that is color based.
Hmm.
But if you are colorblind, for example, there is also a aspect of the game that allows you to still be able to play the game with no issues.
Nice.
So the accessibility with this game is also really good in that sense.
Nice.
Just as a general note.
Hmm.
But yeah, each game, each bug generally has different games, all at different types of games. You can kind of pick and choose if you want something more or less stressful, depending
Hmm.
on the bug. I think so far from what I've played, my favorite games have come from the third bug.
Hmm.
But the second bug, I'll just say there's like the three cups, and you like put something under the
Oh
cup,
yeah.
and then it is one of those games, and that just hurts my eyes so much.
Yeah.
So just tough it out for the first, because it's only for the first stage of that bug. Tough it out for the first stage, and then you could play the other games that are better,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't, I just that one just hurts my eyes so much. Like I finished those, and I'm like blinking so much because my eyes are just like dry.
Yeah. Okay, well that's neat. Each bug also has three life stages, so I think what you were referring to of like wait until they like level up. Basically, they grow up. Um, do the different arthropods have different time periods of their like how long it takes for them to grow? Because I will say Darnell, like it was only a half an hour before he was gone to the big roly-poly log in the sky. Um, which I mean is tr it's like how it goes,
Yeah, I
and then you can do
know.
something with his body afterwards, which was really cool. But like,
Hmm.
do other ones have longer lifespans?
Um, yes, it still depends because there are sometimes notes that come up to be like, your bug is aging faster than normal. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Mm,
So it's kind of luck of the draw with that
okay,
as well.
sweet.
Even within like the specific, so like the each bug will age at different rates,
Hmm.
not only within the species, but also within the actual like that specific bug as well,
Mm,
can sometimes differ.
cool.
And you can kind of just, what's nice about this game too is that because I was trying to I was actively playing it today.
Hmm.
And I do find that this is a good game to like passively play for sure.
Hmm.
So I definitely recommend playing it that way, just as a general sense, because you will probably burn yourself out pretty quickly
Yeah.
if you actively play it. But I wanted to also talk about the the little that you were talking about where you can spend their poo to go buy things.
Yeah.
And I will say there's actually also little things that you can read in regards to the stock, aka the furniture and the hats that you get.
Mm.
There is little tidbits of information that you could read about each item to learn more about, again, your character,
Oh,
Sylvia,
okay.
which is really nice. And I don't know if they introduced this in the demo, but specific bugs like specific things.
Oh, okay.
And you can kind of see the aesthetic that they're going for each bug, and it's really cute. It's really, really silly and adorable.
That's really cute. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of different things. I think I had a couple different hats available to me from like a
Hmm.
game, or from like I bought some stuff. So I put an acorn on his hat, on his
Hmm.
head. Um, but I didn't see like anything about whether or not they enjoyed it.
Yeah, that would all be in their notes when you're in the terrarium
Okay.
section, but then you can also read about them, or in regards to like your own character at the computer.
Okay.
Otherwise though, I did want to ask you as well,
Hmm.
unless I think we covered mostly with the terrarium. Pretty
Yeah.
much it's like you get the bug bin, you put bug egg in there. The
Hmm.
bug hatches. You take care of it. You play mini games with it. You can read about the bug. You can name the bug. You can, depending on what you do with the mini games, feeding it, and everything, that all adjust their personality. You have
Hmm.
the tarot cards, and that pretty much encapsulates
Yeah.
the terrarium section, right?
I would say also that they have personality, like there's like a lot of different personality things and they're on like a sliding scale. So they can
Hmm.
go from like grumpy to happy. And just as you interact with them and based on their tarot, like they'll settle on something.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the quests in the main part of the game are for like one of them's like raise a cheerful bug. And
Yep.
so you want to try and make sure you're getting the right personality trait.
Hmm. And then you figure that out. There are little hints that are dropped as well as you
Hmm.
continue throughout the game to help you with that process. But the one that I'm currently stuck on, I have to Google and I like actively have a tab open because I'm just like, I have no idea what to do.
Oh, that's
So I'm
fair.
currently a little bit stuck at the moment, but like all the hints thus far, up until this fourth bug, have
Hmm.
been very clear
Cool.
and like straightforward, which has been nice. But with that said, the thing that I wanted to ask you about
Hmm.
was the specimen section.
Hmm.
So did you, when your little Darnell moved on, if
Moved
you
on to
could say,
the great log in the sky.
what did you do? Because I know there are, and I don't think this is particularly a spoiler because you'll see
Yeah.
this option pretty much right away.
Yeah.
So you can make them a specimen, aka pin them, or you can put them in the uh, another type of bug soup, I guess. Or you can put them in the garden
Oh
and
wait,
give them a burial.
you can bug soup them?
As far as I know, from what I've unlocked, only the isopod.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Then I
Maybe
love
you can
that.
answer that.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so
Because I'm like, I don't understand the logistics of this, so that's why I want to get your take on them.
yes, I love that. Okay, so basically when Darnell passed, there was the two options. It was like bury it and then it said or pin it. And I was like, you don't pin isopods. You don't do that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna bury him then. And then you bury him, and then so you bury them in the garden, and then the garden grew
Hmm.
a little bit, and then they also talked about parthenogenesis and blah blah blah, and so then they were released into the wild somehow by me burying him, um, or maybe I had more of them, or Darnell left me. I guess if they're parthenogenic, Darnell was female, but. So parthenogenesis is basically when a female organism doesn't need a male to fertilize her own eggs. So she just does it by herself.
Ah, okay.
And so if the isopod is like that, or whatever creature is like that, then they don't even have to mate. They just do it themselves. And then so I think that happened, and then she had eggs, and then you release those two. But so for the majority of arthropods, you actually don't want to pin them. So if it is something that is super soft bodied, like an isopod, you keep them in ethanol,
Mhm.
which is bug soup.
Okay.
Bug soup. So
Well,
that's great,
I'll tell you
actually.
right now, my specimen thing, because I pinned two of them because I came very attached to the first two bugs that I had pretty right
Okay.
off the bat, and I was like, well, because they didn't give the bug soup. I'm just gonna call it the bug soup option. They
Yeah.
didn't give me the bug soup option
Okay.
right away for some reason. I don't know why. I may have
Okay.
missed the detail, but that detail may I don't know why.
Okay.
So I pinned the first two, and then no, they did give me the option, but I didn't know what the jar was because it was
Mm-hmm.
just there, and I was like, the jar looks menacing. What if it's a garbage instead of it? I was like, I don't want to throw it out. I got
Okay.
scared. So,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, I have to click on it and see. So then I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, you can put them in the soup. So yeah, that is an option, but again, I it has not been an option for anything else. I will tell you, generally speaking,
Hmm.
To again not give like spoilers to the rest of the
Yeah.
bugs in this game, that there is at least one beetle
Hmm.
and also a mantis,
Hmm.
um, which I don't know if those can be bug soupified, you could say.
So mantis beetles you will pin through usually the right elytra. Mantids you will pin through the thorax. And then bees and wasps and flies you pin through the thorax. Moths and butterflies you pin through the thorax. If there's a spider, that is ethanol. If there is like a hemipteran or like something that's young, you'll put it in ethanol. Um, Also just like really, really small stuff. I usually just keep those in ethanol.
Okay. Well, I will say, I think in regards to the technicalities of how these bugs are pinned, I'm gonna guess that it's not all technically correct looking at this.
Okay.
Just as a warning.
Thank you.
I'm just like from what my knowledge is basically through you of bugs, I'm like that's definitely not pinned in the
The right
right
spot.
elytra.
Okay.
That's straight down the middle. So take that as you will. But okay, cool. Good to know. So that's cool. I don't know what bugs there are past pretty much what I said.
Hmm.
I don't think I don't think these I think I have a beetle and I have something else. I don't know what it is, but you will find out and
Hmm.
whatnot, and you can update me on what I'm looking at.
Well, because you said that, there's an like ethanol version. I have started a new rubber ducky isopod. So we will see. Um, yeah.
We'll see if that option is there for you. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Or actually, one more thing to add on with the specimen section as well, just to further break that down,
Hmm.
is you can also, there's a cute little on the right side of the device, I guess.
Hmm.
There's a little photo button. You can store the photos that you take of your little bug guys
Hmm.
when they are up in their wonderful log in the sky.
Hmm.
And you can see like what traits they had. You can type up like a little um
Epitaph.
yes. I was like, I see the word, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, they said that in so it's I have mine in the garden and there's an epitaph with him, with Darnell. And so, um, and his epitaph, let me look at it. Back out, garden. Darnell was a lazy eater and a beefy bug.
I have for one of mine, Pokey was a high roller and loved to hermit.
Aw, Bogey.
So they have little, and they also auto-generate names, which I
Mm-hmm.
actually really like a lot of the auto-generated names that they've been giving. So I've just been
Mm-hmm.
leaving it, and they auto-generate those epitaphs as well, which have been
Mm-hmm.
really fun to just see what it like just gives.
But you can also change them too, which
Mhm.
is cool.
You have the option depending on what your play style is, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice. I love this one for Crispin didn't expect much and loved to hermit.
Good on you, Crispin. So
That's such a mood.
have you only been pinning them then?
I've been no, I've been pinning, I've been doing the bug soup, and I've been doing the garden as well. So I've been
Okay.
doing like all of it collectively.
Okay.
I pretty much my workflow, you could say, is I pin the first bug that I like meet when I like meet that like new species. I
Mm-hmm.
pin the first one, and then I've been putting like the rest of them like in the garden essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. That just has become my workflow for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like I do that with my specimens, for example. The first time I encounter something, I make sure that do it really, really well. And then after that, I might just leave them in ethanol
Hmm.
for like to store them. Because when they're just in ethanol, it's less likely that they're going to get like damaged.
Yeah.
So for the museum, but I think it's also like something that we do with like Animal Crossing, where you do the museum
Yeah.
um and you put your first one in the museum. I saw a joke the other day about like you put the first one in the museum and it was about your firstborn child. Like the first one goes to Blathers.
Yeah, literally, that's basically what happens. The first one goes to Blathers, the first one gets pinned.
Hmm. Sorry, bud.
I get, yeah, because I wanted to ask you too about the pinning process
Hmm.
and how I guess you could say accurate that is as well.
Hmm.
But the thing is, it already started off kind of rough because of the isopod being the first one to be pinned.
Hmm.
So that will have to be a question at a later point, but it looks pretty good from what I've seen.
Yeah, so
Um,
what is it like? Do you just hit a button and it pins it, or do you get to choose where the pin goes?
so you get to choose where all the pin goes. So you can move the limbs, you can move the wings, you can extend and
Oh.
like put all like yeah, you can move all of that stuff, which I've seen before in like museums and stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm thinking that it's pretty good in regards to accuracy with the like what you actually do.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool though. I think that aspect, like that little detail of the game, regardless if it's accurate or not, is a cool little thing too. If you that caters to the if you are a bug person.
You're a bug type Pokemon. Um, yeah, I I do really like that. I don't usually position a lot of my bugs like limbs and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm going through so many insects, I do not have the time. But if ever there's something that's like really cool, there's certain standards. Like I always make sure that things aren't crumpled,
Yeah.
that everything's like always facing the right direction and it's on the pin correctly and all of that. But like the rest of it, I cannot be bothered
Mhm.
to do all of that stuff. It's just not, yeah.
And you know what? That's fair, but you're also, again, like you said, cycling through many, many, many specimens.
So
And this is not the case in this game
many.
as much at least.
I will say, okay, one thing I'm looking through the computer, and so there's the diary, there's notes, that's your diary.
Uh-huh.
And then there's letters you get. There are facts for the different insects. There's the stock, which is the stuff, and then the goals. The seventh page of the diary says, being a lab breed, my bug was able to lay parthenogenetic eggs. I'll release them outside to see what happens. I have nothing to lose. Here's a PSA. If you have a lab bred insect, anything, a lab bred anything, do not release it into the wild. Do not do that. That is bad juju.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. It's like releasing a animal raised in captivity.
Yeah.
That's not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah. It's like releasing like you release oh yeah, he's too small. Um like releasing a red-eared slider turtle into the wilderness. It's not good. It's gonna
Yeah.
disrupt the system.
Now I'm like reading through the diary entries to be like, what else can I ask in regards to, you know,
Yeah.
the technicalities? Because I just love seeing like what in this game is technically accurate.
Hmm.
Now I know, don't pin isopods. Put them in soup.
Hmm. Put them in soup. They belong in soup. I will say Petunia is growing a lot. Oop, sorry, a lot slower. I accidentally touched her and she rolled into a ball.
Oh. Classic pill bug.
Classic. I think I'm gonna buy this item for her. Oh, it's a bed. Oh, she's back there. I played a lot of games.
The games are fun. Again, I like the terrarium with the terrarium
Hmm.
and with the mini games, as you unlock more of the bugs and everything, they're fun. They're cute.
Hmm.
But with the computer,
Hmm.
I do actually also want to mention, which I think I don't remember if we already mentioned it. What's also really cool is that, like you said, there are facts about the bugs themselves.
Hmm.
So, fun fact, pill bugs can drink water with their buttholes. I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
now I know that.
Yeah. It's just an orifice.
Um,
It's something that they can get put the water in.
just didn't know that at all.
Yep.
But the fact that they give that information is cool for all the bugs that you've raised. They give
Hmm
3 facts about each one, so you can learn a little more about each one.
hmm
But then also they give general facts. So, for example, the first fun fact, I call it a fun fact that they give is petroleum fly larvae live in crude oil. So they
hmm
have a bunch of facts. I would assume that they are true. I would hope that they are true.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume all the facts that I've seen so far have been accurate. So I feel like they've done their due diligence.
Awesome. Because I also didn't know bees can tell time. And now I know.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that's a really cool thing. Again, if you are the type of person that likes bugs, I do think that's like the game developers have said, validating.
hmm
Because I'm learning all these new things about bugs. I'm like, this is so cool. I love learning new things about these bug guys because there's just so many bugs out there, and I don't know how I'm gonna obtain all this information besides just you.
I'm always here for my friends to just answer bug questions. Oh no, Petunia fell. I was
Oh,
playing the game and she fell. Oh,
oh.
I'm gonna get her a log. Have a log.
But
So yeah,
you
they
should do like a fun fact of the day, but bug fact of the day.
you
Or
should
like
have
every
asked
like
this. Should have asked this at the beginning.
I mean, it doesn't have to be right now. You definitely do not. I'm just saying, just in general,
Okay, I'll
like
think
you
about
should
it.
have like in the Slack, like every Friday we
Oh,
get a fun facts.
Friday fun fact.
Fun
I mean,
fact
you could,
Fridays
yeah,
about bugs.
you can tag me and be like, Cody, give us our fun fact. I'll be like, oh, okay.
All right, that's my Friday
Oh no, he has
itinerary.
mites.
Oh yeah, they can get mites too in this game.
Cure a sick mite smiter. Love that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Um,
little details that they have in this game. And again, as you like continue on, there's more and more little things that they introduce in the game that make it
mhm.
just a little bit more interactive. But you're still playing the demo currently?
Yeah.
So you can still do that all in the demo. That's nice. You're just limited to one bug.
Yeah, you just can only do one bug.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
I don't know if they like are gonna kick me out at some point. Why are
You
you
know what? Fair.
upset?
I hope not.
She keeps getting grumpy, but I don't know. I don't know any of the other like personality things. I only know the first two of cheery and hearty. Cheerful. So it's gloomy or cheerful and sickly or hearty.
Mhm.
And that's all I know.
Yeah, you will unlock more at a later point.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to like be careful with my words to not spoil it because I want you to also eventually
Yeah.
experience
I
the
will
magic of
definitely.
unlocking all these little things as you continue throughout the game.
hmm So yeah, they have I guess like the final summary is this basically what they wrote in their thing is that there's a compelling storyline. There's 7 different bug species, each with 3 distinct lifestyle stages. Oh, and 3 adult color variants.
Yes, I've gotten 2 out of 3 for one of them, which I'm excited about.
Oh,
How do I unlock them? I have not figured that out yet.
I don't know, but it's happened. Um, yeah, 3 mini games per bug, 50 plus real bug facts, 10 plus different personality traits, 20 plus tarot cards, gorgeous handcrafted art. Yeah, I'd say it's really nice.
Yeah, no, it is really, really like aesthetically, this game is very, very cute
hmm
and very like you can tell that they're going for a specific vision with
hmm
the art style of this game.
hmm
But
And I
yeah,
mean, they're nailing it, I think.
yeah, I most definitely this is I guess long story short, this is definitely a digital pet game
hmm
like Tamagotchi, but indeed with modern depth and strategy because there is strategy to unlock different personalities. I'm sure there's strategy to unlock the different color variants.
hmm
So you do have to be strategic and it's much more interactive than a Tamagotchi. Like I loved Tamagotchi growing up, but I definitely got bored of it because there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
The mini games are only so involved and while the mini games are still simple in this game, they're involved enough to have like a good gameplay loop, and they
Hmm.
do contribute to the life cycle of your bug as well, which is cool.
Hmm.
So it's not like the mini game is there and then you could play it and that's it. It actually like also like means things. So everything
Hmm.
is intertwined in a way that I wasn't expecting. It's not just collecting. Like there's
Hmm.
more to it and you get to know your little bug friends and then they eventually pass and you get to memorialize them and learn about that process too. And it's really, really cute and cool.
Yeah, I
But
think that's a good summary.
yeah. I will say that I do, and I don't want to end on a negative note,
Okay.
but I will say for the price of $20, I am hesitant to say it's currently worth it at $20.
Hmm.
I would probably wait till it goes on sale or get it in that wonderful bundle that you
Hmm.
mentioned earlier. Just because I feel like 7 bugs, yes, there are 3 variants and different personalities, but 7 bugs doesn't feel like too much. Um, the story is good though, I will
Hmm.
say. Like I think the story is so far like very interesting to me. And I'm not sure about the mini games just yet, but I mean, I'm only 4 bugs and there's already been one mini game that has overlapped.
Hmm.
So potential mini games, like I wish I could do more besides just read about my specimens or just read about like the garden. Like I wish I could do something
I mean, I
in
think
those.
that's the idea is for it to be idle.
True. Yeah, it is definitely like an idle game, but I just wish I don't know what it would be, but I wish there was just a little bit more interaction because sometimes like if you want to play this game actively, you're gonna have to just kind of stare at the screen for a little bit.
Hmm.
Put on like a it's great for throwing on like a YouTube video in the background.
Hmm.
Or I was actually playing the demo of
The Dolok
yeah, the
Town.
lockdown. I was like, what's it called again? The lockdown as I was like watching my bug in the terrarium. So
Yeah.
it's good in that sense, but if you want to play it actively, there is not too much to do, which is fine, but that is like a something to consider depending on the type of gamer that you are.
Hmm.
And I wish I could customize my like I wish I could have a like terrarium with maybe this unlocks at a later point, but I wish I could have like a terrarium where I could put multiple bugs and see like
Hmm.
all the bugs in. I know that could be an issue of certain bugs interacting with each other might be an
Hmm.
issue. Like one bug might eat the other bug because, you know, but
Hmm.
I wish I could have just a little bit more customization slash more, just a little bit more with the
Hmm.
terrariums to be able to like learn more about the environment that that bug lives in
Hmm.
IRL because the environment for some of the bugs overlap as well.
Hmm.
So it's the same background. So I would like to just be able to have a little bit more distinction with that, but like it's not necessary by any means.
Hmm.
I think the biggest thing for me is that for $20, I wish there were more bugs
Yeah.
because it's a bug game. Yes, there's like a cool character story with the human and everything, but at the end of the day, the focus is on bugs. So I wish there was just a little bit more with that, but I'm sure I don't know for certain. I haven't heard anything, but I assume there will be updates at some point.
I mean, it's ripe for it, like for them to just give an update, like drop, like shadow drop them,
Hmm.
or I mean, or announce it. I definitely would probably not want there to be an added price to it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but I think it's well worth playing. I mean, I'm sitting here just playing Forest Forager over and over and over again. Um, to just
It's a
trying to,
great game for what you're doing right now, recording a podcast and just having something to do with your hands.
yep,
It's
because
really, really, really good for that.
knitting got boring. Yeah. So, but I mean, I could see like if you have something else going on, maybe not super fun to, like if you have something that's more active, like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be good to have this on at the same time, probably.
Yeah, it's you can't I was definitely like if I were playing like for example honestly if I was playing like for example Fields of Mistria, I would not be able to play
Hmm.
this game simultaneously. But if I playing like Town where it wasn't like time anything like time limited playing a game wise, I could not play both games at once. But like again, watching like a YouTube video or listening to a podcast,
Hmm.
something like that, this is a good game to complement that well. So
Yeah.
depends the type of gamer that you are. I think I'm generally more of an active gamer, but I do like this game for when I don't feel like actively gaming.
Hmm. Yeah. It's very cute.
I'm just a little bit hesitant on the price just because of the I wish there were more bugs.
Hmm. I
That's pretty
agree.
much it. But hey, hopefully there's an update in the future for that. That would be really, really awesome.
Hmm. Cool. I think
Yeah.
that about oh, it almost wraps it up. I have one question.
Yes.
What is the bathroom?
What is the bathroom?
So like when you're in your place, there's a part of your space that is so it has a bunch of question marks, but there's a
What?
toilet there.
Oh, the bottom left corner?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So that is what's called the scatalogue. That's
Okay, I'm here for it.
and that is where you can buy different, I totally forgot to talk about this section. That is where you can buy the different walls, the different floor, the different beds, the hats, and you can also buy different shells, aka the casing and like the backdrop of
Oh,
the
okay.
game. So
Hmm.
like the case of like the pocket game, I guess we'll call it, you can change that. You could buy different
Yeah.
ones.
Okay.
See, it's in the settings. The UI theme, you can change the UI theme.
Okay.
And then also in there, there is finally a capsule section. So there's a gotcha
Hmm.
aspect of the game too, which I just did a gotcha just for funsies, and I won a bug fact.
Okay.
So I got cicadas have one of the longest lifespans in the insect kingdom.
Hmm. It's true.
That's the bug fact that I just won. And you could win like different hats. You could basically win different home and hat things.
Okay.
But you can also win bug facts as well.
Sweet.
So that's what the bathroom is.
Okay. Because so it's basically like where your bathroom is. So it's funny that it's called the scatalog because like I'm assuming you like buy that stuff with the frass,
Yes,
but
exactly.
it's not, but it's where your toilet is. So is it maybe it's like you go to the bathroom and you're like on the toilet and you're just on your phone ordering this stuff?
Um, I guess you could say so, because like the items that you get, for example, like
Chloe.
the acorn hat.
Hmm.
Let me pull it back up.
I got it for free.
The acorn cap, rather, says for the description of it, almost stepped on during one of my long walks.
Oh,
It
okay.
survived and is now a fun cosplay accessory.
Yep.
So they're like your items.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know, you're like sitting on the toilet and you discover your little items.
And you're like, oh yeah,
I don't
that.
know.
You're like reminiscing on the toilet.
Yeah,
Fair.
something like that with bug poo in one hand,
And yeah, other things
your
happening.
poo coming out the other.
Oh no.
Something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
The logistics of that I didn't question, but now that you bring it up, now I'm questioning.
Cool. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, that does. I think that's everything that I've got.
Cool.
Good
Well,
game overall.
Ace, where can people find you?
They can find me, I guess primarily on Twitch at A's Trainer, AIS Trainer. But I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. I don't know why I'm still on Threads, but I'm still on Threads.
Okay.
Um, I still have yet to deactivate my Twitter, but we're working on it.
Okay.
And I haven't recorded in a hot minute because Chris and I have been just so busy, but we also
Yeah.
have our own podcast, which I've mentioned before, Moo and Coo, where we just talk about anything and everything. And sneak peek, which I've mentioned a couple times before, is the next episode that we are looking to record is an episode about quote unquote being too kind.
Okay.
So that's a topic that we want to discuss. But yeah, what about you?
You can find me at Blue Sky, where it's just my name at Cody Mathis. You can find me on Instagram at Hiking Beagle, Beagle. You can also find me on the Slack, which is something that you can get if you follow the podcast on Patreon,
Hmm.
patreon.com/thspod. Support the show and get access to that Slack channel. You can also go to the website harvestseason.club and give us feedback, give us some questions, maybe tell us some different games to play.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Say hi to our friend Al in the
Yeah.
Slack.
Yeah. Say hi to the rest of us who aren't on this podcast.
Hmm.
Um,
And y'all can
yeah.
also find Al at the Scottbot on Mastodon dot
hmm
Scott or Blue Sky as well, just to shout him out as well because he edits all these and I want to make sure he gets the proper recognition too. But I think
This
you covered
is
the rest of it.
as I joke often, but this is his podcast.
Yes. And we are just all living in
We
his
are
in
just
his world.
guests in it.
We're Al, Al is the what's the phrase? There's like the phrase. It's like something something, and we are all living in it. Does that make any
It's just
sense?
his world and we're all living in it. Yeah,
That,
basically.
that's the phrase. I'm terrible at catchphrases like that or whatever. Whatever. I don't even know what the word's called, but yeah, that.
Just quote memes? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I wouldn't say it's an idiom because idioms you normally like learn something from.
I'm also terrible at idioms.
Mm, that's fine. They're weird and they get like merged over time.
They do.
So cool. Well, thank you, Ace, for joining me joining you on this. This is really fun. And this I couldn't think of anyone else. Well, I could think of other people who could do this podcast with me, but when I saw the game, I was like, I know that Ace is someone that I would like to do this episode
Yes.
with.
I
So,
can't think of anyone else. No offense, other
mhm.
hosts, but I can't think of anyone else to record
Well,
with for
it's a
this
bug.
game.
It's a bug game, let's be honest.
Exactly.
I'm here for
But
it.
it's always nice chatting with you. So it was nice to record this nonetheless. Bugs or
hmm
no bugs.
Cool. Thanks, A's, and thanks, listeners. And until next time, have a
Have a good
good
harvest.
harvest.
Woo!
A woo, a woo.
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
But first, there's news, but also I can't tell if you can hear this dog or not, but
I can.
I need to let a dog in this room. Give me a
No
second.
problem.
Miss Chloe. Come on, Miss Chloe. You can come hang out with me. Okay, I am currently dog sitting two dogs in my
Wow.
home. Uh, but one of them just plays with Stella the whole time. But Chloe
Aw.
is a Yorkie, and she was upset that she was not in the same room as me.
Aw. Yeah, there's so many good dog Snapchats recently from you.
Yeah,
So much good content with that.
yeah. There's some good hiking ones today. Oh, I should send you the car one too, but I didn't
I
record that
will
on Snapchat, but I will.
I will take anything and everything.
They are very cute. Yeah, so let's move on. Chloe, well, let's move on to news.